Hello everyone and welcome back to some more Hearthstone ladder. Jumping back in with the ramp druid that we've got here. We went 1-for-1 last time with a really good first match and then a tight until the end second match in which we stopped drawing very well at the end. Had a bunch of mana gain cards when we already had 10 mana, such as Innervate, the coin, and some other stuff which didn't turn out well against a warrior, which did pretty good against us. Not too happy to go first. Gonna get rid of the two big ones. Wrath, it can give us board control or help us draw a card. Anodized Robocub's pretty great. Starfire, it's okay. Not the best, not the worst starting hand to have. We get the Kara's on board, which is pretty cool. Nothing to do first turn. Just mess around with the stuff on the board, like book. You try to match the page with the symbols or something? First off, put out the cub before we try to... no, that wasn't facing the right way. Unless that page is sideways? Trying to figure this out. I should probably be paying more attention to the game. He burgles, gets two random cards from us. There we go. Some cool stuff. Yusaraj. It's nice to have. Yeah, I'll give him 2/2. Make it a 4/5 taunt minion. It's a rogue, so it still does have things to stop us, but they're not as much. Ooh. I'll just have different stuff every time. Yeah, sap. At least he uses a sap on one of our early minions, like the Anodized Robocub, instead of one of our later game ones, which are better. Yeah, it gets rid of one of our taunts, but we still were able to do 4 damage with it and get it back on the board without much of a problem. Still haven't seen any of our ramp cards. I'd love an Innervate for Yusaraj, as that would give us a pretty nice swing early on. Horrible at this one. Jeweled Scarab, he's going to discover a card. Not a great minion, but discovering a card is pretty cool. Sap again. So he's using all his saps on our Anodized Robocub, which is all in all fine by me. We can put it back out. I'm not going to Mark of the Wild on it because I kind of want that for a later game card. Instead, I'm going to use Wrath on this, draw a card, get Mark of Nature. So potentially we can buff up Yusaraj pretty well later on in the game. It's a nice, cool little board. Not too big a fan of that. If we draw poorly, we're going to be getting a lot of bad minions on the board for him. That is actually quite preferable. We're going to get a mana crystal for each of us. Going to get us one closer to where we want to be. Do some more damage to him. I guess I'll use Mark of the Wild. Give them both taunt. 2/3 and a 4/6. 3 more turns until we get Yusaraj. We did give him one more mana crystal as well, which is kind of not great. But he vanish. Alright, so he's going to keep putting stuff back in our hands. So far he hasn't really done anything. We can use the battle cry again here though. Give each player a card. And there we go. So Innervate's going to allow us to play Yusaraj next turn. And if he wants to vanish Yusaraj, that's not too big of a deal. Luckily he's using all of his major, like, return to your hand cards early on. Knife Juggler, it's okay, we can trade a lot with Knife Juggler. Undercity Valiant, so he's got a lot of combo cards. Hopefully he doesn't have Van Cleef. Still wouldn't be the greatest board for Van Cleef. Yeah, it's a little questionable, but it gets done what it needs to get done. We can trade and then Innervate out Yusaraj. See what Yusaraj brings out for us. Harvest Golem, it's not great, but as a bonus, it's still pretty good value for 10 mana. a 10-10 and then a 2-3 Harvest Golem that has a Death Rattle to summon a 2-1. Really hoping he doesn't have too many good ones. Choose me and shuffle 3 into your deck. Okay, so now he's got 3 Arcerage, and he's gonna assassinate it. Okay. So, not the greatest deck for us to go up against. He's drawn 3 Arcerage now. We can put out this guy. Then give him 4 attack. Maybe should have given 4 attack to the one that could attack this turn, but still. A 9-10 with taunt. Hoping he doesn't have another assassinate in there. He's only got 17 cards left. Also hoping he doesn't draw the Arcerage, and that we don't draw his little Nerubian dudes. Some Dark Portal. Doesn't look like he has it. Actually, he does. He's just gonna get the 1-1 out of it. Okay. So he kills off another one of ours. We could kill her and draw a card, or we can get an 8-8 with taunt. I think I'll clear the board and draw a card here. And we get the exact same card we just spent. Just do damage, make sure he doesn't get any more board presence, and then we can put out the Ironbark Protector. We've got our board clear spells now. We can kill off 1 Arcerage. If he's able to draw it, he does. Knife Juggler is not a big deal. Slows us down a bit, but at the same time, still maintaining control. 3 of our cards are for him, though, and he's still got a pretty nice hand size right now, which is a little scary. He's got another Arcerage in there. And he gets an Ancient Brewmaster, that's fine with me. No, we could just battle big minions because I don't think he has any of that great stuff in his deck. Go ahead and trade with that and make sure to where he has to trade in order to take out my taunt. Got a Force Tank max for next turn. We can draw another card too. Or we can kill off anything with 5 or less health. Is he gonna trade Arcerage instead of using his spell? I'd rather he traded Arcerage.
So many options.
Instead of making me have to kill him off myself. His board seems based more around battle cries though than it does around just good minions. So Arcerage is slightly less powerful against us with that. We got an Ancient Lore that does allow him to kill off our guy without that. Fan of Knives kills him. So it's still pretty interesting for us here. Draconide Crusher. Luckily the battle cry doesn't go off. We're gonna kill him off. We get an ambush drawn, not great. Put out a Harvest Golem. Force Tank Max is okay. Mark of Nature is good. Not in a great place here with the 20 damage on the board for him. It's basically one of the best counter decks to our deck that we've got here, that I've seen at least in this. Maybe we could have played it a little more aggressive and got him, I'm not sure.
Pay attention, class.
Yes, and that doesn't do us.
Play. I concede.
So we're gonna lose to a rogue deck, which did pretty well against us. I have to hop back in with this, try it one more time. If it doesn't work, maybe tweak it a little bit in between. But so far, haven't done all too well with this deck. The first one went really well, and then the rest after that have been kind of suffering. Might make a priest deck on the next one to see how well that can do. I love playing a priest more than I do the druid. One of my favorite class out of them all. Going to war the opponent once again. See if we can squeeze a victory out here against a hunter. Pretty good chance that he goes for face, which may or may not be great for us. This is actually a really nice hand to start out with. Get a Gedison Jouster out, then a Robocub and Harvest Golem. Doesn't have the ramp cards we want, but it has the ability to slow him down quite a bit. Keep him off us and stave away potential defeat. Especially if this wins. It does barely, okay. So we got a 2-3 on the board. Pretty much cancels out most of the Hunter turn 1 drops that you can get. Anodized Robocub hopefully will help with that. And then we've got the War Golem and whatnot afterward. Does have a coin, he's going to use it now, gets the Raptor out. Do we? I think we do. Just give this Mark of the Wild, kill that off, and keep a 4-2 with Taunt on the board. Try to maintain early board control until we can get late game if we can't draw any of the ramp cards early.
One shot.
It's not great against a hunter, but at the same time he's been putting a lot of cards into this. And we're still going to get 4 damage and some extra value out of it. Could have killed that off and kept the 4-1, but I think getting the Golem out's pretty good. We can bring the Robocubs and we taunt next turn anyway if we lose it. 3-3 with taunts, actually not the greatest thing we could have went against. We can also hero power and trade our Shredder into it and then put the Robocub out. This might be the best way to deal with it. Leaves us with some board control. We take a couple damage, but slows him down, which is big against Hunter. We get Innervate, which is good. Gonna put this out. Give it 1 extra attack. Go ahead and hit him. Kill that off. Get the 2-1 and the 3-2 out on the board. Maintain that control for 1 more turn, then we can put out Sneed. And once we get Sneed out, we'll be in a pretty nice position. Not sure if this is a face hunter or some other type of hunter. Usually play against face hunters, but we have been able to maintain board control the entire time, which usually wouldn't happen with this deck against a face hunter. Maybe we've just got the preferable draw. Multi-shot's pretty bad, but it does take up his entire turn. As long as we draw something we can play this turn, we are in a decent position. And as long as he ends his turn. Because we just need something to play right now, and then we can put out Sneed, which should be pretty good on the board. That does not count as that, but oh well. Next turn we get a big one, and we can put Taunt on it next turn after that. Because we're starting to get into the part of the game where this deck is really good, and we still have most of those cards in the deck. Getting through a lot of our early game cards. That's pretty okay, but still, as a single card to play on 1 turn, a 2-5 that gives all your other beasts taunt, it's alright. If you can put a bunch of stuff out the next turn, it'll be good for him, but we still have Sneed. So we're going to innervate out here, put a pretty big roadblock for him that can kill off his taunt or his charge guy, and most of what he could put out otherwise, and still give us a random legendary after it's dead. He's going to buff it, give it 2-2 and taunt, which makes it not be able to be killed by Sneed in one attack. Does it attack Sneed? It doesn't, which is good for us because we can buff it up to where Sneed can one-shot it and stay alive pretty well. There we go. So we can use Sneed for board control. See what this trap is. Explosive trap, not great, but still, it's okay. He can now kill it off with his Houndmaster, but that's 2 of his minions traded into Sneed, which will give us something else out of it. And we can put out the Ironbark next turn. Death Rattle summon 2/2/2 hyenas. Ooh, okay, we get 8 health, 8 healing to a friendly character every turn from Ragnaros Lightlord, which is pretty nice. Put that behind the taunt. Hopefully heal up pretty well. I think it's still attack doing 8 damage. Hopefully it heals us and not the Shredder. Oh well. A little bit over healing, but same time, it's okay. He's protected and we have a lot of damage. It's actually a really nice card being able to do 8 damage and then heals you for 8 damage or heals someone on your side for 8 damage. Including the fact that it looks pretty cool in the golden form. He's got nice synergy on the board, but it's going to take a lot to be able to beat what we have out. And we can actually beat him now with this, trade him. Then we hit him with both our big guys. So some good luck from Sneed really helped us out. And really good draw early on. We end up going 1 for 1 on the second episode here. Overall, 2 for 2, we're at 500. Maybe come back to this again, but I'm looking forward to trying out a priest deck next time and seeing how well we can do with this. As always, thank you all for watching, and any support or feedback is greatly appreciated. And hope to see y'all again next time.